If anything that I say is not safe and comfortable for you or is contraindicated at this time, for anything that you're working with in your own body, you go with your inner sense of what you need and what's right. That means you can back out of a pose, you can come deeper into a pose, you can do something else entirely, you can completely rest at any time also. So the invitation is to really be in choice, and you do you. So today our props will be 2 blocks and a blanket. And as you're gathering those, a couple of announcements from IJS, and then we'll get started. We're going to do about 5 minutes of warm up today. I'll teach a little bit on Parshat Beshalach, our Torah portion for this week, and then we'll continue our practice. And at 45 after the hour, we'll complete our practice and move to Q&A, and I hope you can stay for that. So again, 2 blocks and a blanket. And from the Institute today, so we have another prayer project coming down the road, Sacred Chant with Rabbi Shefa Gold. It's wonderful, she's wonderful. And that's gonna run from February 12th to March 10th. Registration is open, and Jet is putting the link here. As well, our recently new monthly mindfulness sit for Jews of color is going to be Wednesday, February 8th from 12 to 1 p.m. It is led by Kashira Halev Fife and Yoshi Silverstein. So please take advantage of these things. Okay, everybody, let us begin. Today we're actually going to begin standing. So if you'll come to stand on your mat on this 8th day of the month of Shvat, we're moving right along. Great. So our discussion today is moving from Mitzrayim, from constriction to freedom, crossing the sea, crossing into freedom, and kind of what that means for us, what that means in our bodies, and what Az Yashir Moshe Uvnei Israel, the singing of Moses and Miriam and all of Bnei Israel, what that means for our song, our inner song that's arising. So let us begin to bring the body out of slavery, so to speak. We're going to start with some tapping. Let's take the hands and rub them together. Just get some warmth. Backs of your hands, palms of your hands. Bring up some heat. And then take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. Just receive for a moment or two, a couple of breaths. Receive that warmth. Let the touch from your own hands just start to ground the breath, ground your heart, and ground the body. And then remove the hands. Make light fists with the hands. You can also just keep them open and tap with palms. Either way, start to tap on the belly. And you can decide the tempo. You can decide the amount of pressure and exactly where you would like your own hands to go. Starting to wake up the abdomen, solar plexus. And then make your way up to the chest, upper lungs. And then start to go down the right arm, all the way to the wrist, the hand, the fingers, and then turn the palm up and come up the inner arm. Shoulder, back of the shoulder. Come across the collarbones and over to the left arm, upper shoulder, upper arm, all the way down to the fingertips. Take your time. It's okay if you're a little behind me. Turn the palm up and come up the inner arm. And see where the body wants some touch and attention. Top of the shoulder, back of the shoulder. And then let's come down to the hips, outer hips. And the fronts of the thighs. The knees, you can give them a little bit of a rub. The kneecaps. And the shins. Ankles, feet. And come on back up to the outer hips, the sides of the hips, and just come down the outer seams of your pants, of your legs. And make sure you have some separation between your legs. Now we're going to come up the inseam of the legs. And then go back down to the ankles, and we'll do the backs of the legs, coming up the calves. Backs of the knees, backs of the thighs, buttocks, low back, go gently. And you can also bend the elbows and go up the back as far as your hands will take you, sort of the kidney area again. Go lightly with the hands. And then come on back up one more time, the belly. And pause. Just come to an easy mountain pose. Soften the eyes. Soften the jaw. Soften the throat. Check in and notice how you're feeling right now. Any sensations? Any parts of the body that are calling for some attention? Just take note. I see you. We're here. We're in this together. And we'll take some shoulder rolls, inhaling the shoulders up. And as you exhale, draw the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, and then drop down. Nice and slow and gooey. Inhaling up. And as you exhale, coming back, squeezing shoulder blades together, and then dropping those shoulder blades down the back. Again, a couple more times. Inhaling up. Nice release on the exhale. Once again. Let those shoulder blades really slide down. Shake out the hands. Bring the legs together for a moment. We're going to take a side bend. So left hand to the left hip. Inhale the right arm up. And then as you exhale, press the hips over towards the right as the upper body comes over towards the left. Breathe here. Press into the feet and extend up through the fingertips. And then on an inhale, come on up. We're going to windmill, coming right to the other side and exhaling, side bending to the right. Press into the feet, lift up through the rib cage, extend through the fingertips. It doesn't have to be the bendiest side bend. We're just starting today. Just trying to open the body a little. Inhale to come up and exhale, release. Take the legs a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're just going to bring up a little bit of swinging side to side. You can take this as slowly or as vigorously as you like. As the hands move, take the head, neck, the gaze with you. Start to take the hips with you a little bit. Maybe the knee, even the ankle starts to get involved. Feet might lift off the floor as you come side to side. Ha, 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 ha. You can release sound as you exhale to each side. Ha, 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 ha. And then start to slow it down. And pause at center. From here, we're going to do a roll down. So inhale, fill the torso. As you exhale, take the chin to the chest and start to roll down the spine, drawing the navel to the spine to help protect the low back always as you come down, vertebra by vertebra, rolling down. And when you get to the bottom, you might just shake a little side to side, swing a little side to side. If you'd like, you can let the hands hang, or you can clasp opposite elbows, swing a little bit. Keep a bend on the knee. And from here, we're going to come down to the floor and take a seat for a moment. I'm going to share some teaching on Parshat Beshalach. So finally, the Israelites are freed. It's a great moment, great moment in our history, this crossing of the Sea of Reeds, fully free. They sang with Miriam and they danced, embracing and receiving this gift of freedom in a full embodiment. And in fact, when we hear this in the synagogue this Shabbat, this is one of the oldest melodies that we have, and we rise to hear it, we stand. So again, fully embodied, bearing witness in not just mind, but heart and body. And we too, here on the mat, we listen for sensation. We listen for that az yashir, for that inner song to arise. So I want to ask two questions of us today. One is, what is the shirah? What is the true inner song that needs to emerge for you right now to bring up more freedom? What's going on for you? What is that? What is that song of freedom that's coming up in your own mind, heart, body? And the second is to look at that freedom. It's not really as simple as we think, that there really are challenges. And I want to, there are reasons that our bodies hold, that we have habitual patterns of body, of physicality, of mind. I want to point that out in 3 places in the text for this week. So the first is right at the beginning, chapter 13, verse 17 and 18, right at the beginning. So when Pharaoh let the people go, God didn't lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, though it was the closest path, right? The easiest one, because God said the people may have a change of heart when they see war, and they may want to return to Egypt. So God led them in a roundabout way, by way of the wilderness at the Sea of Reeds. So freedom isn't always something we can just take a direct path and get to our goal, right? Sometimes it takes a little bit of meandering, and that's a necessary part of the path of the way we go. I think that's important to recognize, for us to kind of know that. Second spot I want to bring out is chapter 15, verses 23 and 24. So after they cross and after they dance with Miriam Haneviyah, Miriam the prophetess, they come to a few different places, and one of those is Marah. It means bitter. They could not drink the water of Marah because it was bitter. That's why it was named Marah. And the people grumbled against Moses, and they said, "What shall we drink?" And so Moses cried out to God, and God showed Moses a piece of wood, which he threw into the water, and it became sweet. So right away, they've just gotten to their freedom, and right away there's grumbling. We don't have water, we don't have what we need. Then they're given manna, and later they're going to grumble about that. And then the last place I want to point out is chapter 17, verse 3. They came to the wilderness of Sin. They encamped at Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. So they quarreled. Give us water to drink, they said to Moses. And Moses replied, why are you quarreling with me? And they go on and they say, why did you bring us up from Egypt to kill us and our children and livestock with thirst? And Moses is, what am I supposed to do with this? And that's when God says, strike the rock and water will come from it. So there's not, they're here they are free, and they think, you know what, it was better there. At least we had water. What have you done with us? And so we can recognize that even when we sometimes receive the freedoms that we want and are hoping for, fear and gripping and lack of trust really set in right away. And how can we work with that? How can we work with that? So those are our questions today. Coming from constriction to expansion, what does it feel like in the body, in the heart, in the emotions when we can come to some expansion? And then we could notice, is there some sort of rebound of gripping that happens because we have a fear of this freedom? And we'll work with a chant at the end of our class a little bit to bring up this balance. Okay, so from here, I want to ask you to grab your 2 blocks, and we're going to come to a forward fold with the blocks. You can also use the chair, particularly if the hamstrings, the backs of your legs are really tight, you'll want to use the chair. So forward fold, bending from the hips and not from the waist, and hands to the blocks. So we want to find a long spine, no rounding. So if you're on the blocks but you're rounded, then you're going to want to come up higher. You're going to want to take hands to a chair or a desk. Keep a micro bend on the knees to protect the knees. You don't want to lock them out. And draw the thighs. Imagine that you can draw the thighs back. There's a little sense of the thighs also rolling in toward each other. The kneecaps are lifted. The heels are grounded, inner and outer heels. And right here, you could look down to your toes and lift them and spread all your 10 toes and then lay them back down so you can see a little bit of mat between each toe, perhaps. And then notice, where's your head and your neck? Are you hanging down? See if you can continue the length of the spine. It's one spine, of course, from tailbone to crown. See if you can keep it all in one line. Draw the navel lightly toward the spine. Help protect the low back. And lengthen. Breathe here. If you'd like from here, from this flat back posture, you can begin to fold all the way down, taking hands to the floor or to your shins, letting the crown of the head go, folding over. Notice any tendency to hang back into the heels. See if you can stay centered, lifting the arches. Continuing to spread the toes, very dynamic in the feet. And then as you're ready, let's take a light bend on the knees. Inhale, fill the back body in particular with your inhale. And as you exhale, drop the tailbone, draw the navel to the spine, and we'll roll up, stacking one vertebra on the next. Slowly, slowly, slowly making our way up. A little bit of strengthening exercise, because to move into the freedom we seek, we need strength to deal with the journey, to deal with the the place that we're hoping to go to deal with the unknown. We need strength. So we're going to take a block and put it between the thighs. For most of us, I think that's on the thin side of the block. We're squeezing the legs together, and we're going to just do some squats. So I'll show you from the side so you can also watch how my spine stays nice and straight. We're going to inhale as we bend the knees and send the arms forward, and then we're going to exhale and straighten the legs. Inhale, bend, squeeze the block and sit it down to whatever extent you'd like. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, arms can come out in front of you. Exhale. Inhale, bend. If you'd like to take the arms up farther, you can. Just be careful of shoulders, of getting your neck and jaw involved. Really just working the legs and the core. 3 more. Inhale, sit, exhale, press into the feet to come up. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale, and we're going to stay just a little bit. Soft gaze, soft jaw, let some heat build, squeeze that block, draw the navel in as you're ready. Coming on up. Hopefully we're warm. Release the block. We're going to take Warrior 2. So, widen the legs. Turn the left toes in and the right toes out. See that the front arch is bisecting, the front heel is bisecting the back arch. The hands can stay at the hips, or you can inhale the arms to shoulder height. No higher, just shoulder height, extending through the fingertips and feeling kind of an isometric pressure about it, as if something were pressing against your hands, or you had 2 very big physio balls, beach balls that you were pressing down. Feel that sense. Inhale here and exhale, bending through that right knee, gazing over the right fingertips. You can bend the knee a little or a lot, coming towards 90 degrees. See what's allowed in your own hips, right? Any efforting, we want to reduce it, and see that the knee does not come past the ankle. You want to protect those joints. And we're pausing here and we're breathing. See where you can soften. Right? So certain parts of the body have to work pretty hard, but are there parts of the body working that don't need to be working, that you can soften? And as you're ready, inhale, come up. We'll switch sides, turning the feet, right toes in, left toes out. Inhale the arms, shoulder height, and then exhale, bend through that left knee. Again, tracking the knee forward, not coming past the ankle. And also see that that knee doesn't start to fall inward. If it does, you can bring a finger to it, start to draw it back. You might need to come out of the pose a little bit. Pausing here and breathing. And as you're ready, coming on out. Bring the legs together. Want to look at one more standing pose today, and that's Warrior 3. So again, you're going to take your blocks. We're going to do a prep for it with the blocks, and then we'll come more fully into the pose. So coming once again to that forward bend. So again, it's blocks or it's chair, where the spine is long. The crown is extending forward as the tail comes back. Your ankles are directly below your hips. And we're simply from here going to inhale that right leg back to hip height and pause. So toes are pointing down. The hip isn't opening. The hip is closed down. Right toes are pointing down. And we can use these blocks, because in a moment we're going to get rid of them, to kind of press into the blocks and lengthen the torso, the crown forward. And then as you're ready, release the right foot down. And then inhale with as little fuss as possible. Inhale the left foot back. So either your hands are on the chair seat or your hands are on two blocks. Left leg is extended back. Right leg is the standing leg. Hips are square. Right, so you have to close that left hip down. And then pause and come up and take a rest for a moment. We're going to do this same thing one more time. Just taking a moment to let the breath settle, let the body resettle. And then one more time, folding over, hands to the blocks, ground the feet. We're going to inhale the right leg back. Couple of breaths here. Squaring the hips, lifting the left hip, dropping the right hip. And then exhale, return the foot, and inhale, take the left foot back. Toes pointing down, hip closing. And then come on down. You can put the blocks to the sides and come up. So full pose, arms are extended overhead. So I have a couple offerings for you, a couple options. You can come in like so, arms extended and fold over. You can do airplane with the arms out to the sides, or you can keep the arms at your sides and fold over this way. So a few different options. And you can also hold on to a chair for balance if you would like. Okay, so choose any variation that you'd like. If you're lifting, the arms are going to come up. We're going to inhale, lift the right foot, step forward onto it, and then as we exhale, fold forward, extending that back heel, continuing to trying to close that left hip as much as possible as we balance on this right leg, standing leg. You don't have to stay long. When you're ready, inhale, come up, exhale, release, and we'll do the other side. So inhale, step the left foot forward. Exhale, fold over the standing leg. So again, maybe the arms are extended, maybe they're out to the sides, maybe they're by your hips. Maybe they're holding on to the chair. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, release. Beautifully done. Just to counter stretch that one a little bit. Take the legs wide and let's take some hip circles. Starting clockwise. You can keep the knees slightly bent, just feeling the hips making a circle. It can be small, it can be wide. You choose. As if you're moving those hips through a gooey vat of peanut butter. So going really nice and slowly, taking your time, and going the other direction as well. Just feeling every subtlety. When we talk about Mitzrayim, constriction, Egypt, and freedom, the hips are really a place we hold a lot of our stuff, physical stuff, emotional stuff. So even just a simple movement like this once a day can be great. And when you're ready, bring that to stillness. We're going to come to the floor. Take your blanket so you have something to sit up on. We're going to take the legs wide. They don't have to be super wide. See what's right for you today. So extending, we take the direction from that warrior three, from all the length we just brought to our hamstrings, extending from the hips all the way to the heels, extend the balls of the feet. You can take the hands behind you as you let the sitting bones ground down. Press the hands or tent the fingertips to the floor. Press down and lift the crown of the head up. Just be right here in center. If this is too much on the legs, you can bend the knees slightly. You can put something under. You can put a block under each knee. If you don't need as much as that, you can have like a washcloth or a hand towel. Keep those by your mat. Generally speaking, nice props to have. If you'd like from here, so you can stay just center. If you'd like to fold forward, you can start to do that. So inhaling, lengthening the spine, and as we exhale, beginning to fold. And take this incrementally. So with each inhale, lengthen the spine. With each exhale, a little bit of a fold. If you'd like, you can put a block or blocks in front of you to rest the arms or to rest the forehead as you come forward. So wherever you are, exploring in this wide leg forward fold. As you're ready, inhale to come up. I'm going to take a seated twist. So a couple of different options. You can have the legs extended in front of you and draw the leg in and keep them parallel. Take your twist from here. That's one. Another option is to cross one leg over the other and twist. Third option, tuck the bottom leg under. Just a matter of which feels more comfortable to you in your own leg, pelvis, back structure. So, wherever you are, let's bring that right leg in. Clasp the hands, draw them to the right shin, and lift up. So one of the biggest, most important things here is that we be able to lift through the low back. So if you're like this, we can't come into a twist very well with that constriction, right? So to achieve some freedom, you might need to lift up more. You might need another blanket or a sofa cushion or something like that. So find that lift. Squeeze against that right shin. Inhale here. And then as we exhale, twist to the right. Take the right hand behind you. The left arm might come to the outside of the right knee. The elbow might come around the knee. Or the elbow might come to the outside of the knee. Just see what you'd like. However you're choosing to do the twist today. Take a few breaths to work your way in. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, twisting. Take the gaze with you. As you're ready, release and take a counter twist to the left. Just a brief little twist over to the left. And then we're going to switch sides, bringing the left foot in, knee bent. Whichever option you used on the first side, go ahead and do that on the second side so you're balanced in this. Again, remember lifting up out of the low back so that the sitting bones are grounding down. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, begin to spin to the left, taking the left hand behind you, taking the right hand around. Inhaling length, exhaling spin the rib cage, twisting. Take the gaze with you to whatever extent possible. Long neck. And then as you're ready, come on back and take a counter twist, opening to the right. Come back to center, shake out the legs. We're going to lay it down to the floor. Coming onto the back, the knees bent and the soles of the feet onto the floor. And just take a moment to allow the spine to settle. We can notice, yoga is a practice of seeking freedom, finding more spaciousness, more freedom. So we can notice when we, just like the biblical Israelites, begin to grumble. I don't want to. It was easier before. Just notice any complaints, perhaps not, but perhaps that bubble up, as we walk this path. Good, so as the torso just starts to release to the floor, the weight of the body starts to surrender. You're going to draw the soles of the feet towards the body, so as close as possible in toward the sitting bones. Take the arms and lengthen them from the shoulders and grab outer edges of the mat. So the arms are long and you can tuck the shoulders under you just a little bit, so that the heart lifts a little bit up toward the ceiling, shines a little up. Inhale here, fill the belly, fill the chest. And for the moment, as you exhale, just draw the navel to the spine and lengthen the tailbone toward the knees. As you inhale, let the pelvis rock back to neutral. So that lower back curve comes back. As you exhale, navel to spine lengthen the tailbone, flattening out the lower back curve. And now from here, press into the feet and lift the hips up. So the lower back is really nice and elongated, and just come to a low bridge here. Just a little bit hammocky. See that the knees stay in line with the hips. You might even have to look to just make sure the knees are not splaying. Right? So grounding into the big toes, knees in line with the hips. And then from here, slowly lower down vertebra by vertebra to the floor. We'll come up again another couple of times. Once you get down to the floor, inhale here, neutral spine, fill the belly, fill the chest. As you exhale, lengthen the tailbone, press the lower back to the floor, navel to spine. And once you've elongated, then press into the feet, lift the hips. This time come up a little bit higher. Maybe you roll the shoulders under you a little bit more. Continue to hold the opposite outer edges of the mat here. Just gives you a little more breadth. So pressing the hip points up toward the ceiling, grounding the feet as you press, lengthening the back of the neck, chin is moving toward the chest, but not crunching the throat. And then as you're ready, slowly lower down bit by bit, vertebra by vertebra, to the floor. Take your time. And when you get here, pause. We'll come in one more time. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, navel to spine, lengthen the tailbone, flatten out the low back, press into the feet, lift the hips, not actively squeezing the buttocks. They'll engage, but we don't have to squeeze them. And then this time, roll the shoulders under you, and if it's available to you, and if you would like, take the hands together, clasp hands. Continue to roll the shoulders under you, lift the chest, send the knuckles away. Tailbone is lengthening, thighs are lifting, feet are pressing down, hip points lifting. Then as you're ready, release the hands, widen the shoulders, and start to lower down one vertebra at a time. Slowly, slowly making your way back down to the mat. From here, give the knees a hug. You can take your hands to the kneecaps and once again rub your hands on the knees, just like we did at the beginning of class today. Just give some warmth to your knees. We'll take a little twisting action to close our practice. So hugging the knees into the chest and then taking the arms out to the sides, out in a T at shoulder height. Inhale here and exhale the knees over towards the right, down to the floor, perhaps. You can take a block and place it between the knees, between the shins, between the lower leg bones, on any level here, on any size. Especially if the outer left hip is tight. It's really nice to have that block between. And we want to ground that left shoulder blade, left outer shoulder. And then as you're ready, inhale, come through center, and we'll exhale over to the left. And ground that right shoulder blade, right outer shoulder. And then inhale back to center. Take a couple minutes of stillness. Take your blocks and place a block, each one, under your knees or under your thighs. Give some relief to the low back. And see what's right for you. If you're wearing glasses, you can remove them. Allow the palms to face up with the arms out by your sides. If it feels okay for you, you might allow the eyes to close. As you're ready, begin to deepen the breath. Make your way over onto one side and come up to a comfortable seat. We're going to close with chanting a part of a verse from Parshat Beshalach, from Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. Ozi v'zimratia. I put the text into the chat. My strength, Ozi v'zimratia, and the song, the God song, Vayehi li lishua, will be for me salvation, will strengthen me. I open and surrender to the God song and let it be sung through me. This is by Rabbi Shefa Gold. Little teaser for the prayer project coming up. You may know it. You can chant with me. Balancing our strength and our inner song, our creativity, whatever is wanting to bubble up, the surrender element in the balance of finding freedom. Ozi v'zimratia vayli lishua. 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 As you're ready, allowing the eyes to flutter open, coming back to the room. Thank you for indulging me a couple extra minutes today. Shavua Tov, everyone. I hope you'll join us for Q&A. Want to hear your reflections and reactions to today's Torah and today's practice. If this has been a worthy time for you, this or any of our practices, IJS welcomes donations at any time and any amount. There's no amount too small, so it feels good to give. Please give. Reminder that we have Shefa Gold's Prayer Project coming up. Take a look. And JOC mindfulness sit as well coming up soon. I want to also share with you that I teach, if you're interested, I teach a 90-minute class on Sundays. It's a paid class, and if you'd like to be on my mailing list, receive some more information about that and other things that I'm up to, do feel free to email me. It's ishamash@gmail.com. Happy to add you to the mailing list. There we go. Ishamash, 2 M's. gmail.com. Okie doke, everybody. So please let's use the hand raising function. And happy to hear your reflections on